Isn't this a robot movie? Why are we given Asimov's 3 laws underwater? Good question. The reason is that it's central to the theme of this film. Spooner's misguided distrust of robots is a direct result of being saved from drowning by an NS4. The robot's lack of human emotion led to the young girl drowning and Spooner living. Will Smith's workout routine. Spooner is willing to completely soak his bathroom with every shower he takes, oddly lacking a curtain, to give us all the gratuitous scene we deserve. Converse. Kudos to FedEx for not insisting on a cleaner, sleeker looking robot as its delivery boy.
So goodbye to lengthy upgrades and service calls. An uplink to USR's central computer.
A funny little glimpse into 2004's pre-smartphones everywhere era. The thought that in 2035 robots would have been released without an uplink is pretty laughable. This is me laughing. If I open a sushi takeout restaurant called Hideki's in Chicago in 19 years, would I have to pay for product placement? Hey! Pre-Shia LaBeouf mental breakdown. Happier days, really. Although without it, we probably never would have gotten Rob Cantor's song. I realize the lesson here is Spooner is a racist, or a speciesist. But this is the first in a string of unfortunate, inconvenient coincidences that make it look that way. Not only is the robot running with a purse, but he only noticed the robot because he hears someone yelling. The future has lots of monitors, and none of them are holographic. Future cars are fun, even if Audi apparently gained a monopoly in the industry. Tough to make out, but I'm pretty sure this reads Duce Exemplum, which very loosely could translate
Lead by example.
In Latin. Continuity win. Car filing. Alright, so we do eventually get holograms, but they're totally worth it for this sweet misdirection. Also, holographic police tape makes sense. It's not like physical police tape ever kept anyone out.
So whatever I can do to help.
I guess as a 0.001%er, people will assume you're guilty of things before even speaking with you, so you have to be on guard all the time. But we know Robertson is innocent, and he knows he's innocent, so it annoys me a bit that he puts up with Spooner's bad cop act just because of his fear of being guilty until proven innocent. However, I love how much sugar Spooner puts into his likely expensive and rare coffee just to put him on edge. It's like the equivalent of asking for ice and a Fresca for a 25-year-old scotch a la Michael Scott. Only purposefully, not because he's a doofus.
USR, on the little guy. That would be the fade out.
See? Will Smith isn't all yelling. He can do deadpan.
Lawrence told me to accommodate you in any way possible.
Most robotic character in a robot movie starts out being Dr. Calvin.
Wow, look, you have great posture. You stand really straight.
Compliments.
Long time ago.
Sonny in the box. This is our first look at how the NS5s move, and their strength, power, and agility are illustrated fantastically. Robot assembly line gives me a nice warm feeling. So organized. So far, Sonny has only been capable of matrix jumping. Who doesn't love a matrix jump?
Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you?
Burn! The chief used to be an attorney?
His Honor the Mayor.
Man, statements about inflation and campaign finance inside 3 minutes. Will Smith's audition tape for Deadshot. Door surfing.
What do you know about the ghosts in the machine?
It's a phrase from Lanning's work on the 3 laws.
Maybe, but Ghost in the Shell is an amazing 90s manga that's inexplicably being made into a live-action film. Just FYI. Go watch it.
He postulated that cognitive simulacra might one day approximate component models of the psyche.
Also, artificial intelligence lessons, I guess? With the exception of Sonny, robots are emotionless, therefore would lack any type of normal social awareness that wasn't programmed in. So everything the robots do is just a result of programming, but we project our human traits onto them. This robot is sticking its tongue out at this NS4 and humming na-na-na-na-na. And this one is thinking, come at me, bro. Obviously it's all deliberate, but that's why it's a red herring win.
Gigi, you're a genius.
More compliments. And modesty. Another great action set piece that keeps you gripping the edge of your seat. Spooner missed his calling as a drifter if he can correct a spin like that. The conclusion this film makes about the 3 laws is so logical it's hard to refute. Lacking emotions, morals, ethics, and being bound by mathematical statistics would turn humanity into basic numbers. If we're statistically the biggest threat to humanity as a whole, in order to obey the first law, we need to be protected from ourselves. I don't think the robots necessarily needed to be such jerks about it, but from Vicky's perspective, sacrificing one human life for the good of all humanity makes sense. Also, sweet fight scene that ends with a great reveal.
Yeah.
Self-sacrifice? Flesh spray. Now with that freezing sound you've always wanted. Hairstyle change is a visual clue she's finally coming around.
Favor!
Attempted self-sacrifice. And Will Smith has some range.
Please tell me this doesn't run on gas! Gas explodes, you know!
Combustion lessons.
No, not really.
It was at this point I learned Alan Tudyk, Wash from Firefly, was the voice of Sonny and felt really dumb for not knowing that because he knocks his performance out of the park. I couldn't believe how believable he was as this robot voice. So much so that I had no clue it was him after seeing this movie a handful of times. I've always appreciated how this drawing comes together. Made up of just straight line segments. Very analytical, but not perfect the way robot drawings often are.
The man in my dream. The one standing on the hill. It is not me. It is you.
Even robots understand the importance of dramatic delivery and timing.
Might want to put some ice on that wrist, too.
Medical advice.
I don't know what blithely means, but
Honesty. Badass good guy.
I told you so. Just doesn't quite say it.
Humility. Police, civilians, people of all races, potentially a woman, all uniting to kick some robot butt. This is insane. I love that the NS5 start chucking people back into the crowd like ragdolls. Yep. Also, maybe Will Smith would have been an alright Neo.
Hello, Detective. How is your investigation coming?
Still so polite and courteous, even when the robo-apocalypse has begun.
No, Doctor. As I have evolved, so has my understanding of the 3 laws.
So how do we avoid this? I can think of one way. Stop trying to create AI. AI lessons. Mic drop. Well, my mic's attached to the wall, but you get the point.
I would prefer not to kill Dr. Calvin.
We all get what he's trying to do, but that wink indicated to me that he actually would like to kill Dr. Calvin.
This is poor building planning.
Meta jokes.
But it just seems too heartless.
Kanye West couldn't have said it better. And didn't.
I'm uncomfortable with heights.
More honesty.
Denser alloy. My father gave it to me. I think he wanted me to kill you.
That's a planning ahead win. I love this camera on a pendulum technique they use a few times in their showdown. Robot versus robot fights. Nothing like a little adrenaline to make you forget your fear of heights. Okay, I can't say if I've ever given out a luck win, but that's a luck win. It looks like the strap somehow magically loops the cable, but it actually lays over and then catches the grip of the gun. Lucky. Brain punch.
Save the girl!
Emotional callback, and a perfect way of showing the difference engine versus human compassion. Where's that guy going? Gosh darn it, mid-jump slow motion catches are fun. Also, teamwork.
My logic is undeniable.
You have so got to die.
Logic this, cliche dodge. Mothership cliche that actually makes sense.
Calvin's fine! Save me!
Funny callbacks, and saving your friends.
And he told you to kill him.
He said it was what I was made for.
What a good twist. Haha, tricked you into liking and feeling sympathy for a murder bot.
Does this make us friends?
Friendship. Will Smith is such a talented actor. It's no wonder he's become the superstar he is today. While I'll still personally give him more credit for After Earth, where he had to go outside playing a variation on himself, he's still extremely talented. He's always funny, super convincing in action scenes, and hits the emotional notes perfectly as well. Bridget Moynihan sells uptight science nerd perfectly, and her slip-into-action hero sidekick worked really well. She also had some really great moments. But by far, I have to give the golden win to Alan Tudyk's Sonny. I realized some modulating and filters were done in post, but he never ruined my suspension of disbelief that Sonny was a real live robot. But the entire cast was great. Not a bad performance in the lot. Even Louis Stevens himself. I guess maybe this guy's an exception. Superficially, this is a film about the dangers of our culture's dependence on technology and the ever-present fear of the singularity and AI evolution. And, much like robot uprising movies that came before it, does a solid job of keeping us from disparaging Apple and Google too loudly around Siri or OK Google. Love you guys. But slightly below the surface, we're given some serious statements about race, stereotyping, and even slavery. The movie is filled with metaphors, and I don't think casting an African-American male as the lead against shiny white robots was a coincidence. Not at all to say Will Smith doesn't deserve every role he gets, but this opening sequence shuffles through a bunch of stereotypes that have been written about more times than I can count. Couple that with Spooner's first real interaction with a robot, where he projects a human character flaw like purse snatching, and we start to see some parallels. Maybe I've read a little bit too much into the symbolism, but it's there nonetheless. The point is, a simple shoot-'em-up futuristic robot movie was fun enough, but the breadcrumbs are there if you want to go deeper. And that, my friends, is what makes this movie great. All that cultural commentary mumbo-jumbo aside, this is still a really entertaining robot mystery thriller. I think robots are always going to be interesting to us, especially when you start talking about AI. But maybe, just maybe, we need to reassess Asimov's 3 laws. Don't get me wrong, they're a good start, but since almost every movie robot ends up trying to kill all humans, they obviously allow for some fundamental misunderstandings. Or at the very least, we need to add to the laws. How about Law 4, no saving us from ourselves by enslaving us? For that matter, Law 5, no howling, matrixing, skynetting, or Vickying. Undeniable logic, no?
Yes, Vicky. Undeniable.
Oh, mother, damn, she just shot at you with her eyes closed, Spoon.
Hey! Did you just shoot at me with your eyes closed?
Well, it worked, didn't it?